On today's show, an early look at the 2020 census and why it's important that you are counted. We'll have an important conversation with Dr. Vicki Mack from the U.S. Census Bureau. We'll also look at how the partnership with the United Parcel Service in conjunction with our District 4 office has helped hundreds of county residents to become employed. We've got a lot to cover on the district. Stay with us. Welcome to the district. I'm Fulton County Commissioner Natalie Hall. As you may know, Fulton County is the most populous county in the state. And with so many people calling Fulton home, there's a significant demand for residents for various types of services. As mandated by the U.S. Constitution, America gets just one chance each decade to count its population. The data collected during the census helps to determine everything from the number of seats in Congress to how much in federal funds communities receive. Dr. Vicki Mack is a partnership specialist for the U.S. Census Bureau, Atlanta Regional Office. Welcome to the district.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. So, what is the 2020 census and why is the Census Bureau conducting it?
So like you mentioned, we have one shot to count the population every decade, and 2020 is our year. That population count is required by the U.S. Constitution, and it's actually in Article 1, Section 2 that states that every person must be counted, and the numbers for our population will determine the allocation or apportionment for congressional seats and also funding or how taxes are allocated to the states.
So how can the census actually impact Georgia as a state?
Our numbers have an impact on federal funding. So the population count or the numbers impact funding for a variety of federal programs like Medicare, Medicaid, federal housing programs. And also it impacts the allocation of congressional seats. After the last census, Georgia gained a congressional seat. In addition, it will impact redistricting at the local levels, school levels, city, and county levels.
Well, we know a little bit about redistricting at Fulton County. That happened to us a couple of years ago. And how is census data used by governments, businesses, and nonprofit groups?
Census data is used in a variety of ways, from forecasting, transportation needs, housing needs, to determining how we should respond to emergencies and disasters. Those numbers are used to determine where the people are, where the housing units are, and it has a major impact on planning for a variety of services, from social services and housing.
That's wonderful. How is the 2020 census conducted?
So the count this decade, and this is the first time we will have an online response. But every 10 years, we've generally sent a notice out and we send a form out, and then we would follow up with those people who haven't sent the form back. This time, people have the opportunity to complete the census online or by phone, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during that period in early spring of 2020. And then some households will receive the form and the link to complete the census online. And in those areas where we are concerned maybe about internet access, they'll receive a paper form. Or in some of these areas that are rural, we will have people go to the door automatically without sending them any forms to their door, to the address.
That's good to hear, because that would actually help those citizens who do not want to complete the census online,
right,
by allowing them to complete the form or having someone go to where they are located and actually doing it for them. That'll be great. And how do people's data, how is it kept safe?
So going back to, people will complete their forms online or by phone, or they can have the form. But we will make sure that people have support to know how to do that process or how to get the census completed. The Census Bureau is committed to data confidentiality. Mm-hmm. We have strong laws to protect data. Title 13 ensures that we as staff do not allow our data to get in the hands of the wrong people. We also have various systems to make sure that that data stays protected 24 hours, 7 days a week. We also have Title 44 that allows us to release the census data in 72 years. So after 72 years, the census records will be released. And that is an interesting point that people don't know, that you can get your Ancestry.com information from census records from 1940 and prior. The 2020 census records will not be released until 2092.
Wow, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah, many of us might not even be here that long.
Right.
72 years?
Right.
Before you actually, is it like a purge?
It goes to the National Archives.
Mm-hmm.
So the National Archives holds our records from all the previous censuses up until 1940.
Mm-hmm.
The 1950 census records will be released in 2022.
Okay, and what are the expected challenges for conducting the census?
We know that people will not want to participate for a variety of reasons. They may be nervous about their data being protected. They may be concerned that their data may be used in the wrong way. They may not have time, or they think it's a low priority. And so we know those are going to be some challenges. And those challenges are presented every census.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Who are the hardest to count?
We have some data from our census collection process from decades. And we have data that shows that there are some areas that are just hard to count because they're either highly populated areas or high poverty areas where young people, 18 to 24-year-olds, they just don't have time. It's not a priority. Off-campus housing is a difficult area for us. It's a double whammy. They're young and they don't think it's a priority, may not think it's a priority. So those in areas where people may not speak English very well, and because for a variety of reasons they may not feel comfortable or they may not understand the process.
Well, what do you do for those citizens who do not speak English well, or may speak another language? We
make sure that we have outreach staff in place who speak the language. We are making sure to hire in those areas, to employ staff who are bilingual, who are from the communities, who know the cultures, to make sure that they can educate and encourage their community members to participate.
Well, as you know, I actually sponsor legislation to create a complete count committee here in Fulton County, where each commissioner will appoint 2 people from any area within their district to sit on that committee so that we can help the census get this count going. But what do you recommend that others do to try to help with the census?
You're doing one of the best things you can do, which is form a complete count committee. A complete count committee is a group of people or volunteers who develop their own outreach strategy because they know the communities better than we do, and they can explain, educate, encourage their communities better than we can. And we're asking everyone to engage their community members, engage their relatives, engage their neighbors, to and then educate them on how important the census is.
And so what will the census do to help with our complete count committee? How will the census partner with Fulton County to help?
So we have partnership staff, and we're really ramping up our hiring of partnership staff and getting them on board from a variety of backgrounds, language, bilingual, and in a variety of communities, so they can engage, educate, and encourage their community members to participate in the 2020 census.
And so how can people find out about the census jobs?
We have a website. We have a 2020 census website. It is 2020census.gov/jobs. 2020census.gov/jobs. We also have a number, 1-855-JOBS. Let me double check. 1-855-JOB-2020. 1-855-JOB-2020.
All right, that's great. And Dr. Vicki Mack, it's been a pleasure to have you on this show, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
When we come back, how a partnership with UPS is changing lives for some Fulton County residents. Stay with us. Welcome back to the district. Fulton County's partnership with the United Parcel Service is proving to be just as successful as first thought, with hundreds of residents getting jobs. Part of the success is because of the hard work of the District 4 team and the county's WorkSource Fulton division. Take a look.
Yeah, so this is a great collaborative. We partner with Commissioner Natalie Hall of District 4 and Gavin McGuire, Executive Director for the YMCA, to host this community event in conjunction with UPS to get package handlers hired for their new Smart Hub.
This is a great opportunity to partner with our community organizations. I mean, it's fantastic. We've got multiple community organizations here. We've done a lot of things behind the scenes to develop these partnerships, and this is kind of like bearing the fruits of our efforts.
It's especially important for this community because jobs are very important. And when you create jobs, then communities just kind of grow from that. So we're real excited.
UPS wanted to thank the county for its help in making its newest facility along Fulton Industrial Boulevard one of the largest in its company. Here's how.
Can't thank you enough. We're going to continue these initiatives next year.
We are having a volunteer appreciation luncheon for all the community agencies that came together to work out all of our recruiting events to help us staff the UPS Smart Hub.
Workforce development, along with District 4, committed to working with them and getting a lot of people that were in the community and throughout Fulton County hired in their main Smart Hub up the street 3600, 1100 Fulton Industrial Boulevard. So it was important for us to work with people in this community to get them gainful employment.
It's a great opportunity to work with the local community, the United Way, the Center for Working Families, of course all of the surrounding WorkSource departments, pulling together to make this a success.
Thanks so much. Now again, when finished, UPS intends on hiring 4,000 people for their Smart Hub and currently have hired approximately 2,300 people. So by all means, visit the company website if you're interested in becoming a part of the UPS family. We'll be right back. As a Fulton County Commissioner, I have made it a top priority to stay informed about our elections process. While we have an incredible elections department with dedicated leaders and staff, we know that there are always things that can be done to make the process better. Fulton County has a Board of Registration and Elections, and we look forward to hearing from its members on how to make all of our county elections more efficient, because we believe that every eligible voter should be counted. That's our show for today. Special thanks to our guests for joining us, and a special thanks to you for watching. Feel free to contact our District 4 office anytime by calling or emailing, and be sure to connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Until we meet again, I'm your District 4 Commissioner, Natalie Hall, and thanks for watching the District.